Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nene. And as you can tell, this is going to be my thoughts on Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 7, Episode 5. The episode is called Hanging in the Balance. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I'm uploading any type of videos. Also, comment if you want me to review any other shows. I know when this starts dying down, I am going to need something else to review. So give me your thoughts on what show you would like for me to also review. Without further hesitation or delay, here are my thoughts. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of breaking this down because, of course, they went from scene to scene, but then they went back to the same scene. So bear with me. I'm still trying to work out on a format. But we're going to start off with the opening scene. It's Zach, of course, and Karen. And Pam is there, and they're at a UPS tray. And they're at Karen's grand opening. Now, let me first start off with the whole why you got to come to the grand opening, put my business on blast, and speak to me and ask me about doing a paternity test in front of these patrons. I'm trying to get business. Okay? It's hard to be a salon owner in Metro Atlanta. And you want to come up here and put my business out here in Front Street like we on Maury. I would have slapped the piss out of him. Anywho, I digress. Okay, so, of course, Zach asked Karen for a paternity test. But Karen is sitting there like, why do we need to do a paternity test? You already know you're the father. Aaron, we already established, is not the father. So why do you need a paternity test? Like, seriously, sir, what more do you need for me to say to you other than I only slept with Aaron? Okay? Now, Karen, here's the thing. We going by your word, and I'm not saying anything about you, but we don't know. You don't know. In between that time, didn't you hook up a little bit after Zach, and you broke up before you got with Preacher Man, with your side dude? Like, we don't know when you got pregnant, okay? And if you ain't got nothing to hide, hey, do it. Here's my thing. Look at it this way. You establish as the father. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In court documentation, you have to take care of the child. Like, if you go to court and you go and get a paternity test, you got legal documents to say you are responsible for this child. Now, right now, without you having that, you have to depend on him and his generosity. I'm not doing it. We're going to get this test done so you can know that you're the father. And while we're in the courts, I'm filing for child support right now. Child support starts now. I need you to help for my health insurance. Like, we want to do it. Let's do it. The fact that Karen is blaming Fatima, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's coming out of Zach's mouth. So whether Fatima's gassing him up or not, you got to deal with that. And if Fatima is gassing him up, I want to prove to both of y'all so I can shut both of y'all down. It gets a little heated, and then UPS Joe, a.k.a. Trey, comes to the rescue, says, hey, you're upsetting her, you need to go. Karen's mama come, escort Zach out. Trey asked her, do she need anything? She said, yes, I just need some water. So he runs to get her water. Pam is like, I see how both of y'all like each other, looking at each other, so I see a relationship blooming. I do too, but I don't know if I'm wanting Karen to be in a relationship just yet, because she's still scorned, she's still hurt. We saw how it was when she did with Preacher Man, and I really don't want her to do that to baby Trey. Okay? Yes, I don't think I really want her dating just yet. But time will only tell. Now, in the past, the time frame and all of that took a mighty long time. Okay, for us to go from one day to another. When I tell you this speed up is throwing me for a whim. I'm getting whiplash. So Zach, so we leave the salon. The next scene is Zach and Fatima. Zach is all in a white in a tank top. I said I was gonna stop saying that word. He's in a tank top, and Fatima's like, "Oh, you just coming from the gym? Yeah, I had to get rid of some frustration." Dang, you got to the gym that fast? Before it used to take at least 3 episodes for us to get to another day, or no, another spot within the same day. So anyway, he tells Fatima how he's feeling. He talked to Karen. Fatima said the same thing. I don't think that was the right time. Well, Fatima, you was gassing this man up. You should have said to him, I need you to talk to Karen. Could have talked to her over the phone. If you got to meet with her face to face, could have met with her for lunch. Fatima could have been there with you. Or better yet, that might not have been a good thing. But not at her grand opening. Just looking at my notes. So they discuss. I do believe that Fatima does gas him up a little bit in regards to getting the paternity test. Because every time he mentions it, talking about his kids, she's always in his ear like, well, do we know about that one for sure? Like, for right now, he thinks it's his child. Okay? Just stop. We get it. You don't think it is. Or better yet, you're hoping it's not. Other than that, Fatima is doing great bonus mom stuff. So she had picked out some school information for Michael. She said with all of the trauma and trials and tribulations that the baby has been going through, he is going to need therapy. So she picked out some therapy courses and some counselors for him to go to after they go to court and hopefully get custody of him. So, I mean, Fatima did do good with that. Other than that, I need Fatima to back up. She getting on my nerve. On to the next. I don't know what they're doing with Maurice. I'm not. I don't know what direction they're trying to go with him. I don't know if they're gonna make him like a star. Like I'm not understanding his storyline so far. So, so the first episode, he supposedly had met some guy there, and the guy said the same thing, that somebody died, that he was close to. He just got out of relationship. Okay, and we ain't seen that man since. So he's out at the club again. Now the club is not even a club on the inside anymore. They're a club on the outside. So I don't understand what's going on with that. Did they lose their license and they can only party in the parking lot? I don't get that. But I forgot the white boy bartender. So I am gonna call him Jack Harlow. Okay, Jack Harlow, the bartender, is talking to Maurice. All of these people, I don't know if they find him famous now with his dominatrix. I don't understand what's happening. But they're flashing, taking his pictures. Okay. Um, his little part wasn't that much or that interesting, but he did meet up with a dude. I think his name was Grayson in a gray shirt. Which it wasn't great. Was it great? It didn't look great to me. It looked like an army fatigue shirt. Okay, I'm confused. Was it a gray army fatigue shirt? Somebody let me know. But anyway, they had the little thing where he was like, "Yeah, I just got out of I just moved here 8 months ago. I got out of a long-term relationship 8 months ago." So, I mean, like, dang, you buried your significant other and then moved like right away. So gave Maurice the whole thing of he was in a long-term relationship, person had died of cancer, took care of them to the final day. Uh, Maurice, before that explanation, is very jaded. And he's coming off with like, what do you want from me? Are you trying to do a come up? Are you trying to get something from me? And this all stems from Q. He hasn't gotten over that. And I think that was pretty much it. Maurice's part really wasn't that significant for me. I think it was a great builder. We should see what's going to go on with this Grayson with the gray shirt. But other than that, that was just it for Maurice. I don't understand why they trying to push Andy and Costco Jordan on us. I don't see the chemistry. I don't feel the chemistry. Nothing about the chemistry is there for me. Okay, so looking at my notes, okay, and my note went just like this: phone conversation with Costco Jordan was lame. Again, I don't feel the chemistry, but we're gonna digress. They have a phone conversation talking about meeting up later on this evening. Um, uh, let's see here. What else do I have here? Because it's a lot of lameness. Yeah, lameness. Fatima talks to Andy about the Karen situation. Andy's like, yeah, I heard he calls the scene. Oh, what I forgot to say is Danny actually is the one that calls the scene. Danny, which they didn't explain it, comes to back to Karen's grand opening, drunk and high, giving a raggedy toast, but don't go deeper into why she came there drunk. Like she didn't even spill the beans. Like I made a mistake and told Zach, excuse me, uh, how you got down in college. Pardon me, I'm sorry about that. So they didn't do that. So her being drunk and high didn't make sense. But anyway, make a long story short, Fatima and Andy's talking about the whole uh, Maury moment. Andy was like, "Yeah, I heard from Danny that he calls the scene. I mean, really wasn't a scene. He calls the disruption. Okay. Um, but then Fatima tells Andy that she really don't see it for Hayden. Of course, she thinks he's up to something. She saw him coming out of the office with some files. Um, Andy earlier had saw him. She's looking at a folder. She saw Hayden, excuse me, talking to somebody and just a smiling like a Chester cat, like the cat from Alice in Wonderland, and just kissing butt. Like he gets on my nerve. Um, I'm gonna keep on Andy because her stuff wasn't that much. She talks to Fatima. Fatima mentions how there was a scandal with one of the candidates that's running up against Jordan. Make sure that he has no skeletons, Andy, because Gary made you happy in the beginning, and look where that turned out. Turned out. Um, Looking at my notes, I said the same thing. The chemistry between Andy and Jordan is so lame. When they went out to eat, and Gary was stalking them, like him kissing Andy, like Costco Jordan kissing Andy was lame to me. Like I didn't feel nothing. I was just looking like they looked like cousins kissing. Like it didn't move me. We'll get into Gary later. So Andy is all in with Jordan. They've been together for some months. I still don't like him. I mean, he seemed cool people, but I just don't see the chemistry. On to the next. I want to talk about Danny real quick. We could go back to Karen, but I want to talk about Danny real quick. Danny finally deciding to go do therapy was great. Her sitting there, her opening up, her saying how the Preston relationship did affect her. I appreciate that because she tried to act like it meant nothing to her, and I'm glad that she's actually saying that it did mean something to her. Um, she does go into the guy Sherman who basically attacked her, and that she's upset that she didn't see the dark side of him. Um, and that she did open up talking about her first real relationship, or not real relationship. What I got down, her first abusive relationship. So that let us know that she's had multiple abusive relationships, which is sad. Okay, and it's sad because a lot of women have, including myself, at one point had an abusive situation. Okay, not so much a relationship. I wasn't in a relationship with the person. The person was just crazy. That's that's not what we're talking about right now. That's for a later date and time. Anywho, she talks about a guy that she was with. He was a college athlete, star player, and he called her out her name, choked her, beat her, slapped her, punched her. While they was in the locker room one time, and was calling her all types of sluts. She said he was very judgmental of her appearances, what she ate, what she drank, what she wore, how she wore her hair, her size. So that made me say, and then the actress that's playing Danny, her crying and all of that, she did an excellent job with that scene. Um, it made me think of the episode where all of them came and confronted her and how she felt backed up in the corner. I understand why, because it flashed back into when she was in that abusive relationship. When Braxton would make comments and tell her she needed to do this and do that, it flashed her back to her old relationship where it was telling her what she was doing wrong. She wasn't this. So I get it now. I get Danny now. And I'm mad that it took 7 seasons for that to come out, but I get it now. I get it. I understand. Not saying I was judgmental of her. She just used to get on my nerves because I didn't understand why she would behave the way she is. But I get it. I totally understand. With her story, she tells Sabrina that she went and brought up that past relationship, and from the sounds of it, Sabrina didn't know. So I wonder if any of the girls knew, because that could be the reason why she was out there searching for something while she was in college. Okay. She goes into the office. She meets with Tony. Tony wants her to go to lunch. Her defense mechanism is to push people away. And so she was like, "No, I'm not hungry. I don't want to go to lunch." She comes back. She says, "I know I was acting weird earlier. Something was brought up from my past in therapy, and it unlocked a memory that I had thought I got over. So I apologize. I'm not trying to be weird." And he was like, "That's understandable. You don't have to tell me what it was. I just want to be there for you. Do you want to go to dinner?" And she's like, "No, no, I'm not. I'm not hungry." So now she's shutting down. So it's not just rejecting people, but she's shutting down. Um, so he was like, "Okay, we don't have to eat. I just want to be that shoulder for you to lean on." I'm starting to really like Tony. He's like, "I just want to be that shoulder for you to lean on. Um, don't push me away." She says, "I'm not." And then she does confess that the therapist told her that she does have a habit of pushing people away. She goes out the door and then she says, "You know what? I'm not going to push you away. You can come see me later on this evening." I really thoroughly enjoyed that scene. It said a lot. It's a lot for women, um, especially black women who try to remain strong, stay strong, appear strong, to say you can't let your guard down. You don't have to act like you that strong. Nobody walking on this earth is that strong. Jesus walked this earth and he wasn't that strong, and Jesus even wept. So I really enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that writing for that scene. On to the next. Let's go on to a couple that this is the second relationship she was in that I want her to hurry up and break up with him. Sabrina and Rich. Just go ahead and break it off. She comes in there, and I know a lot of people has things to say about Sabrina's dressing or her wardrobe or whatever. Some of her stuff that be looking weird and funky, I like it. It builds character, excuse me. But I like her color block of the day, which was or Wednesday, which was gray on gray, or it could have been silver on silver, um, smoky gray. But I just loved it. I love the pattern. I just loved it. Okay, she comes into Rich's location. He's super excited. He's bringing out blueprints. You can look at her face and tell she's not into it. At first, I didn't know why. And then I looked in the background. I saw a woman with a baby. Sabrina, just end it with the man. You want a kid, he don't. Don't try to force something, okay? He's happy. His entrepreneurship, his business that he has, is what excites him. Having a family does not. And that does not mean he's not a good guy. He's just not the guy for you. So basically, this is showing someone settling for a good guy, because not every relationship is going to be a bad relationship. Some relationships are here for you to see something in it, to grow something inside yourself. Okay, have an awakening or epiphany, as someone may say. But I'm rambling because it irks me. She standing there, she's watching him. She ain't really paying attention to what he's saying. He's so enthralled. He's in love. He's talking about this location, that location. She said, "Well, I have some life changes I'm doing too." He was like, "Oh, babe, if you got something with entrepreneurship and you want to do that, let me know. I can help you. I can." And she was like, "I don't want to be no entrepreneur. I want to be a mama. I told you this. I'm happy at the bank as long as Paige get off my back. I want to be somebody's mama. I want to get impregnated. Okay, I want to be pregnant. Okay, so I'm gonna freeze my eggs." Baby, the way he flipped that switch and said, "That's a good idea. Just in case me and you don't work out, you should still have the opportunity to have a kid. But look, it getting busy right now. I'll holler at you later. Kick rocks." Baby, don't let a man tell you more than once that he either don't want you or don't want the same things you want. That's his second time telling you, Sabrina. Let it go. Tell him, "Hey, it's been real. You're a wonderful man, but this ain't gonna work. We want two totally different things out of life. And that's no problem. I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good night." Bam. That's it. End it. We're going to go to Sabrina's job. So she has to deal with her boss, Paige. I don't know. Is Paige her boss, or is Paige just one of her coworkers? I'm not understanding, because Paige is acting like her boss, but I guess it's not her boss. It's just a coworker. Is going through her files because she, again, trying to set her up. I do agree with Maurice. We'll get to that. Yes, Sabrina. So I was looking at this file because I'm showing that you had a revenue loss, or the client had a revenue loss of like $500,000. Just knew she was right. And Sabrina's like, "What is you talking about? You reading the ledger wrong. Column G is not as far as dividends lost. It's dividends that was gained. He gained this amount. So now I got to undo what you said." And she was like, "I had to apologize. I have to apologize. I guess I read it wrong. Why are you in my files in the first place? How do you have access to my files in the first place? You are trying way too hard to get this branch manager job. I promise you, if that girl got that branch manager job, if I was Sabrina, I would leave. I would leave. Because I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm snatching your hairline off your head. I am taking every single lash off of your left eye and leaving you with some lashes on your right. I will take your eyebrows off your right. You will be mismatched. I would not be able to do it." Sabrina calls Maurice, tell him what's going on, and he was like, "That girl's trying to set you up. You better watch your back. If I was there, I would have your back, but you need to watch your back. And while you're at it, when you become a branch manager, hire me back, because I need a job. I'm tired of this." On to the next. Let's finish up Karen. Okay? So Karen's still in her feelings. Karen needs money. Karen calls her mama. Mama comes there with a check. Don't know what the check is for. to help her out because she said everything is very expensive. Again, I don't know why you moved into this place to lease when you had a building that was reasonable. I understand about expansion, but sometimes if it's not feasible or it's too good to be true, don't believe it. Still don't understand what happened with Jason Weaver's character. How you gonna tease us with like 2 episodes of him? Anywho, so Karen is under the excuses of, hey, it's just busy right now. Mama Karen, which I forgot, Mama Lisa, that's her name. Mama Lisa says, well, what if it doesn't speed up? What is it if it stayed low? What if nobody comes back to get their hair done? Then Karen unintelligently says, I'll just deal with it when I deal with it. No, a business owner needs to be prepared for everything. But here's my thing. Try different streams of income. You got a salon, rent out a couple of booths where people get their nails done. Charge Pam some money to sell her products out of your salon. There's different ways. Why is it that we're sitting here saying, well, if you could be honest with Zach, he might can help out? Why are y'all counting his coins and feeling that the child support that he's going to give for Karen is going to go to the salon? The child support is supposed to go for the betterment of the child. It should be used for actual things for the child. Like, for example, Karen, you got a 1 bedroom. Do you have a bassinet? Do you have daycare? Do you have things that you have in place for when you got to go on maternity leave because you are a whole owner of a salon? Why are we sitting here counting Zach's money? That's the part that's irking me, that's getting on my nerve. Why are we doing that? Like, somebody explain that to me. Why is that the go-to? Because he can help you. Okay. Then Trick or Trade, aka UPS Trade, comes there and he's like, hey, I like you, I want you, let me take you out. Karen's like, okay, I guess so, because I ain't ate. We can go get us a little Chick-fil-A sandwich or something like that. Maybe we could get the Wendy's 4 for 4 or the Wendy's Big Sack. Yeah, I don't understand what they're going to write about Karen. What more is going to happen? We shall see. On to the best and final part. Is Gary bipolar? Is Gary bipolar? And this ain't no diss to anybody that has mental health issues. My daddy had bipolarism. But not at the level of Gary. Gary has lost his ever-loving mind. So he's watching something on the laptop. They're talking about Costco Jordan, okay? CJ for short. So they talk about CJ, and he loses his mind, throws his laptop in the air, let it pause and fall and break in half. Is you crazy? Is you crazy? And you doing this because you want Andy? What is it about Andy that you want so bad? I'm not understanding. You did everything to lose her, so why do you want her so bad? Because she don't want you? I don't understand the logic. His right hand man is named Hart. That is name. It's either Hart or Harley, one of them. And he's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" Sir, start with the Christian Bale voice. This is not the Dark Knight. I don't want to hear that voice. Anywho, he was like, we need to get this scandal going. The woman's been paid, all of this stuff. So there's going to be a fake scandal about Jordan that's coming up. I believe Andy's going to end up believing it because Fantasia's Fatima going to be like, I sat there and told you, you need to look up the skeletons. So Gary and his pusher man leave out the room or whatever. Penelope comes. Penelope's going through his stuff. She ain't a good sneak. She comes. She finds a picture of Andy, which shows me he's a stalker again. Then she finds warrants. And the thing that's getting me is like, why are you so surprised about what this man is showing you? This man is back crap crazy. Why are we surprised? Let's see here. So they try to get the scandal going. Hart said it's gonna be anytime now. Um, Hayden calls Gary at some point. Gary and him talk. He was like, "You need to, get your obsession over Andy like under control. You're losing it." Although Hayden wants Gary to help him bring down Andy, so make that make sense. Uh, Speed up. Andy's at dinner with CJ. She was like, "I just want to make sure you don't have no scandals." Since you were speaking on your candidate scandal, they leave out. They're kissing. Gary's in the car with a gun. He hit a bump of that cocaine. He in love with the cocoa. Has the gun. Doesn't do anything. The show ends with Andy and CJ kissing. Him picking her up. Getting very steamy PDA. Jump in the car and then pull off. I'm not understanding what's going on with Gary. Because 1 minute he's crazy, 1 minute he's not. 1 minute he's crazy, 1 minute he's not. He telling Penelope to get the hell out of his office. She was trying to play the game with, "I came and brought you lunch. Can you believe it?" He was like, "Why are you going through my drawer?" Oh, can you believe they did not have any utensils? Uh, and then he gets the food. They tell her to get the hell out. She leaves. I see at home. He looking at her like, yeah, whatever. And then Hart's like, "You good?" He was like, "Yeah, that was just my annoying fiance." Why you had to reintroduce her? He already knows. He's been there several times. Anyway, that made no sense. And told him to throw the food away. You could have gave that food to somebody. Depending on what it was, you could have gave that food to somebody. That's wasting food. But that was it for my thoughts on Sisters episode. Was it season 7, episode 5? I don't know how much more I could take of this. It's confusing me. At least we're going through. It ain't the same day because Karen was pregnant for 3 seasons and we was only on day 2. Okay, but leave your thoughts on tonight's episode. Um, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care.